Okay, here we go. I'll call this meeting to order. And everyone stand for the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And roll, please, Kathy. Here.
Here.
Okay, we have a quorum. And I will now turn it over to Tim Hicken to take it from here.
Thank you, Ms. Hampshire. Safety and Tech Committee, welcome all. Our first item on the agenda tonight is a follow-up to the camera system. I think the last time this group met, we were still playing around with the new camera system. The system is now working quite well. It does have the ability to zoom, although we're really not using that. But it might come in handy if we ever had somebody wanting to give a presentation and facing the citizens, facing, I guess, north from this room. We will, this meeting will be posting, streaming live to Facebook and YouTube. Either could be accessed via the YouTube or the Facebook channels if you simply search on the City of Pataskla pages and then click on Watch Live. The problem is there's not a link that can be sent out beforehand because really it doesn't go live until we start broadcasting live. So we're trying to work on some basic instructions to get out there for people in case they do look at one of those platforms and they want to participate or watch live streaming.
Dragon?
Yes, sir.
What other platforms or technologies do other cities use, if we know, to broadcast their meetings? I'll just give an example. In the legal community, we're doing a ton of it through the Zoom technology. I think that's probably because that works best for smaller participants, or I did a probation interview with the defendant in my office this morning. We Zoomed over to Newark. So I don't know if that is suitable for a large community or what have you.
So really, I believe that in the situation that we find ourselves in, it's kind of an all hands on deck. Different people are doing what they have access to. I'm in my human resources / city administrators group. There's a lot of talk back and forth. Some places are doing it by Zoom. Zoom is limited, as you said. It's somewhat limited in how you can. Well, first of all, in its length, if you don't buy a subscription. Although buying a subscription is certainly possible. What we did was we asked Keytel which of the platforms they would recommend. And their recommendation was YouTube. They thought that the social media platform of Facebook was a little bit different than YouTube, although YouTube is certainly a form of social media. It's much more designed to both house records, and indeed we do house records on YouTube, especially recordings from Kathy that Kathy makes, but also it's a more stable platform, if that's the right term.
Okay.
And so that was their recommendation, that was the best way to go.
So TikTok is out of the question.
TikTok's out of the question, and so's Snapchat.
Okay.
That's really all on the new camera system update. I just wanted everybody to know that probably next time is the time when we would go live Facebook only. So tonight it'll be going out on both platforms, but next time it'll change. The next one I have is the continuing website review and contract discussion. We did, it is part of the budgetary supplemental. Last time we weren't sure that it was going to be, or rather the budget, yeah, it's a supplemental. We have a $30,000 dedicated to redesigning the web platform next year. My anticipation for that is to ask for requests requests for bid or RFQs, probably requests for bid, and see what we get. I really like the idea, frankly, of somebody local, and this is why. it seems like what we have the most problem with is making sure that we stay on top of it with no dedicated IT staff. We're staying on top of making sure that our website remains topical and we don't have things like right now, announcements for the Easter egg hunt or stuff like that. So if we were able to contract with somebody local, I think that they would, if they're tied to the community, they already know that there are things coming up. It's time for the street fair, it's time for the fireworks, it's time for the cookie walk. And hopefully the partnership that would develop out of that would be good. Obviously, well, not obviously, but I do not intend to make it a sole thing. I think it would just be a contributing factor to selecting them because I don't know what kind of talent we're going to actually have locally to do that. We need to see exactly who would bid on this and what kind of bids are we looking at.
Well, yeah, I think it'd be great if we get somebody local, and I believe there's somebody local. There's enough talent in the city that there's somebody local who can do it. And the advantage is they're here locally. We can reach out to them, and they know the events that come up. They're familiar with the rhythm of what the street fair, cookie walk, power show, different things that happen in the city. So that'd be great. And I think you can find somebody.
I hope so. I don't know, Ms. Hampshire, if you have any specific feelings on that, or if we just want to and I would ask this group, including the mayor, our platform right now is serviceable, but I would say kind of stodgy and not necessarily super user-friendly. And that's what our existing system. So ultimately, that's what I'm shooting for, is a professional-looking front page with a very easy navigation. And that'll be our goal moving forward. I can tell you that right now, Jess Cumbo, our administrative assistant, is responsible for postings on there. I intend to involve her throughout the process. And in the end, she'll be the person, everybody will be involved in the process. Hopefully I'll ask all administrative staff, including Kathy for that matter. But she would, I think, right now she's the main point when people want something put up there. So I'd like her to also be involved in some of the design phases and stuff like that.
Right now, it's working perfectly.
As far as I know.
Yeah, I mean, it's working, but it's not the easiest to navigate.
It is not intuitive in terms of navigation, and it has outdated information on it, and there's nobody. This is not a knock on Jess because she's busy doing other things. We just don't have a dedicated person who sort of rides herd on everybody who has input to the webpage to say, hey, dude, dudette, you need to update this. This is out of date. You need to give me the new information. There's nobody who's cracking the whip. So things just...
And mostly because we don't have a dedicated IT.
We don't have a dedicated person. That's the reason. So if we could find someone who could work with Jess and on the technology side of it, making things better, and then maybe having Jess just more for inputs, and then getting our administrators realizing that, hey, it's going to be updated, it's going to be new. For example, I mean, I think I said this last meeting that new council members haven't updated their, at least the last time I checked, haven't updated their city council
Biography.
page, their bio. So, anyway, just as an example.
And there's also certain instances where people have called me up and said, hey, I can't figure out if this meeting is happening tonight. Sometimes when you're inside the bubble, you easily go, that's no problem. Just go to government, council, click on that button right there. But if you're not inside the bubble, it's not intuitive. And so,
Right, it is not intuitive. It is not, I mean, again, the cities, when you go out and look at a city website, one of the things I'll have is have like meetings. You know, it's much more user friendly. So enough. But that's something we really need to work on.
we hope so.
Yep.
We do. The final one involves both safety and technology, If you remember, I had brought to this committee's attention 2 meetings ago the fact that we have an antiquated system in this building for locking the doors. It was put together piecemeal. Near as I can tell, it was done in a series of activities with different contractors or different companies. The last person that had really worked with us is Accurate Locksmith and Security, a gentleman named Alex. He came in, as I said, we were going to ask of him, and basically gave us a full quote for removal of the electrified vertical rod and the panic devices and installation of the dividers and the door frames, and basically to make our doors, put our doors back on a timer. I think there'll be panic bars and timers where the city would be locked up tight, as in my opinion is appropriate between certain hours, and we can choose the hours and we can choose what needs to be done. Having received this bid, I will say that there was a little sticker shock involved with the dollar amount that he is quoting here. On the back of the front page that everybody was provided, there is a certified electrician will have to supply AC receptacles above the doors. That would have been in addition to this bid. However, we have power supplies above the doors, so that will not need to be done. Nonetheless, a discussion with Mr. Nicholson and Janice, who usually is the person that is the front line interaction with whoever we talk to when we talk about problems with our doors, says that this individual is good, the company is good, and although I have no experience in it, I will say that Jamie feels like while 14,520 is slightly high, it is within the range of about what we would expect for somebody to come in and totally redesign our locking. Now, I don't know, I'm not basing that on anything specifically. I will tell you that this bid arrived today in anticipation of this meeting. In talking to Jamie, he was able to look at the budget and believes that there may be some carryover in my own, if that's the right word, in the administrative budget for the administering to this building. So I think that the 14,520 is something that is we have access to, and I think that unless I read it wrong, and then of course we're open for discussion here, if it's something we want to move forward with, it is something that we could make happen by the end of the year within this budget cycle. So I wanted everybody to take a look at this, see if there's any specific questions, or decide if we want to move forward with it. It's a little bit outside the mythical $10,000 limit that, and I say mythical, and I don't mean that flippantly. I mean, it used to be council approval had to be anything over 10. I don't know that we have really found that is present, and I'm not advocating to simply wantonly spend money. By the same token, whether it's via this group making a motion and Ms. Hampshire is informing council tonight of the cost, it's whether that's the way we want to go or some other direction, at least we have an idea of the ballpark. And so I'll kick it open for discussion with the Safety and Tech Committee.
Do we generally only get one quote?
It depends on the situation. I think in this instance, the information came in so late that, and if indeed speed is of the essence, then we would usually get more than one quote, but in this instance, it's the guy who knows the system best, and I think we have the discretion to say this is the person that does know it best, and we hopefully believe that this is in line with what we should expect to pay for something like this. Again, I would also, if caution's the right term, I don't know, but I would say before constantly going low, if that's the right way to describe it, or putting Band-Aids on it is probably how we got in the position we're in. So.
Yes.
Yeah, what we have sort of a mishmash of things. that have sort of collected over the years. We had a previous employee who installed security cameras and other security equipment on his own, I think, or something. We haven't had sort of a unified effort to provide security for City Hall. And so, in my view, it's important to move forward with this. We have some funds left over.
We do.
So this is not, we have some money that's already potentially available. My view would be to kick this to council this evening and see what they want to do. So. And this, Tim, did somebody talk to this company and see how quickly they can come out and do it, or?
Not yet, because I wanted to see, I'm positive it can be rather quickly.
Okay.
I just don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's going to be by Friday.
No. But I mean,
No, it would be by the end, certainly by the end of the year, probably by the end of the month.
for the month or year. Okay, we've got the holidays coming up, so.
Yeah,
Okay.
the only outstanding thing may be we are running in, and this is across the board, whether it's roads or whether it's doors. Sometimes equipment that is necessary is on back order, just due to the system, just due to the times we're living in. And so if he usually gets his equipment from some specific individual who went out of business or something like that, sometimes it might take longer. But I have not contacted him and asked him how soon he could start.
Well, but from the finance perspective, once we've contracted and purchased and obligated the money, then we're okay.
Yes.
So even if there's a lag, we have this happen all the time where there's a lag where something was contracted for in one fiscal year and then it doesn't get done until sometimes 2 fiscal years later because of delays or what have you. So, okay.
Would this alter any agreements that we have with tenants that we have here, or no?
It would not. As far as I know, the tenant agreement with COTC does not require that the building be open 24 hours a day. In fact, I don't think it mentions anything at all. It's simply that we would provide. Indeed, it probably adding locks to the doors is something we should have, so that somebody doesn't come in and throw a chair through COTC's window and go in there and ransack all their stuff.
Well,
I think it's incumbent on us to maintain a secure building after hours. We would work with them, with all of our tenants. We would see that the ones that might need to come in on the weekends, whether it was drug and alcohol rehabilitation or insurance, that they would have a means to access the building properly.
I mean, as I say, where my building is, everyone has their own code. We have a building-wide security system. Every business has its own code. So if you come in after hours or you're there later and it comes on, you can go and just set it. And that also helps us keep track of who's in the building if there's some sort of problem. And then, we have security within the building. We have security codes so that the public can't get in and start roaming around it's not my building, but roaming around the building, so it's a large building. So I think that's pretty easy for the tenants. It works very well for the tenants in where I am, so.
Any kind of warranty or anything like that on any of this?
Well, that's a great question too, and I don't know. I don't know what the warranty is with it. Let me see if I read the description and I did not see specifically a warranty.
Maintenance contract, anything?
Nope,
Okay.
not as part of the bid. And if the committee feels like, you want to wait till I find that out and we put it on the consent agenda as a motion for the next meeting in November, then so be it, especially if he says, no problem, it'll take me 2 weeks or 3 weeks anyway. I'll be ready to go if it passes. I'm also available, I'm amenable to that choice.
Well, what I would, what I think I'm going to suggest for a motion, I'm not making one right now, I'm going to suggest is that the committee directs the city administrator to acquire some more information about the contract and give us more comprehensive information about the contract with the view to putting it on either the consent agenda or the regular agenda for the November 16th meeting. Is that? And then if if Mr. Hicken finds out that there's no guarantees and there's no, there's no warranties, Ms. Hampshire, there's no service contract. If it breaks, you got to pay, this guy to come out and fix it and things like that, then maybe we'll go, Ms. Hampshire suggests maybe we look for somebody else.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you guys perfect with that?
So, Ms. Hampshire, I'm going to make a motion that the committee is recommending that Mr. Hicken, as the city administrator, obtain some more comprehensive information from Accurate Locksmith and Security, specifically on warranties and maintenance contracts, and things of that nature, and that he bring back a report to all of council on the November 16th meeting. So that's my motion.
Okay, and then we're looking for a second, and that's me. I second that.
Well, yes.
Shire,
Yes.
Barstow,
Yes. Thank
Motion
you.
passes. With that said, Ms. Hampshire, I don't have anything else, and other would be up to you or Mr. Barstow, so I will see if there isn't anything else, you can.
Ms. Hampshire, I don't have anything else for the committee.
I don't have anything else for the committee either.
Move to adjourn.
I second that.
Barstow,
Yes.
Hampshire.
Yes.
Oh, we got a free gavel strike from the mayor.
Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun.
Oh, I know what, we got some time. I know.